Hello my love, welcome back to the video. Consistency is a buzzword and I'm sure you're hearing it absolutely everywhere. But if you are working on something in your life right now, whether it's yourself, whether it's a job, whether it's just getting towards a goal that you want, then you're probably thinking, I need to be consistent with this and I don't know how to. I'm going to be completely honest in this video because I don't want to just give you systems and strategies. I will give you systems and strategies, but I also want to be completely honest when I say that you have to want it bad enough. Whatever you are trying to be consistent with, if you are struggling to be consistent with it, then look at whether you actually want it bad enough. Because a really key factor in being consistent is actually just wanting something bad enough and enjoying it enough to work on it every single day. And it's also not necessarily the enjoyment part of it that is really important. I am going to talk about this because I want you to enjoy what you do. But last year I was consistent in sending outreach emails every single week, and that was so unenjoyable for me. But I was consistent in it because I wanted it bad enough. So there's different types of ways that you can be consistent. If you enjoy it, then you're going to be consistent with it because you want that feeling of enjoyment. The gym, for example, you might not enjoy it in the moment, but you might love the feeling after, and you might get hooked onto that feeling that you feel after, which will drive you into being consistent with the gym. So there's different levels of consistency. But when people are giving you all of these tips and tricks on how to be consistent, remove this distraction, delayed gratification, which I love, they always miss out on one key factor of whether it really means that much to you in the first place to be as consistent with it. Because I know that I've had 2 failed businesses in the past, and that's because I just genuinely didn't want it bad enough. And I'm okay with admitting that to myself now. I'm like, yeah, I could have really succeeded. I believe that I could have really succeeded if I wanted it bad enough. And I want you to have that belief in yourself too, that if you want it bad enough, then you can succeed, and you will succeed because you want it bad enough. But if you don't, the consistency is going to be really, really hard to grasp. Right now, you probably want to achieve some kind of goal, whether it's consistently going to the gym 5 times a week, or whether it's running a marathon, whether it's getting into university, reading 10 pages of your book a day, or applying to 5 jobs every single day consistently until you get a job, for example. You're probably working towards some kind of goal. And right now you're focusing on the outcome. You're focusing on what your body will look like when you go to the gym and when you get your dream body. You're focusing on what your job will look like when you get that job. You're focusing on how smart you'll be when you read. You're focusing on the outcome rather than focusing on the process. Consistency is not about the outcome, but it's about the ongoing, almost mind-numbing process and how you can make those tasks doable and fun. Last year I was sending a lot of emails. That was the last thing I wanted to do. It's not fun, it's not creative for me at all, but I wanted it bad enough, so I did it, and I knew it was going to bring me that return. And it did, and I'm so glad that I did it now. But during the time, friends looked at me like, oh my god, Frida, how do you do it? How do you stay so consistent? And I was almost like, I have no freaking choice, you know? Like, this is giving yourself a no plan B mentality. This is how you can also stay consistent, because you're like, well, I have no choice but to do this task to get me to where I want to be. The gym, to get your dream body. I have no choice but to go there, because if I don't go there, I'm not going to achieve my goals. And if I don't achieve my goals, that's not an option for me, because there's no plan B. You only have plan A. Plan A mentality, no plan B mentality. This is going to help you in being consistent. I see you and I talk to you every single Sunday. Some people think I'm crazy because I've been making YouTube videos for years, and if you have a look, I obviously don't have thousands of subscribers. I obviously don't get thousands of views, but I'm consistent with it. And that's because there's no plan B. I want it bad enough, and I actually enjoy it. So that's a real big bonus. So you have no plan B, you actually want it bad enough, and it's actually fun. If you can make any of these tasks fun for yourself, it's just going to become so much easier. And that is what a lot of the gurus say. Make it fun. Make it, like something, give yourself a reward at the end of it. And it's great advice, But if you have the first two, the plan B and the wanting it bad enough, you don't necessarily need it to be fun. That's just an added bonus. Know your why. It has to be strong. It has to be a strong reason why you are doing it. If you don't know why you are wanting to achieve a certain goal, it's going to be so much harder to work towards it consistently every single day. Your why has to be strong enough that it's not just for you, but it's for other people. And maybe it's for people that you love around you, or it's for a cause that you really care about. So why are you trying the business that you want to try? Is it because you want to financially support your family? Is it because you want to help a friend? Is it because you want to help this charity? Is it because you want a non-for-profit? Like, what is the big why behind it? And how can you remind yourself of that every single morning? And I recommend doing it in the morning, because then your tasks are going to be so much easier to do throughout the day. I always talk about visualization and my morning routine in my videos, and I want to create a whole video on my morning routine because I absolutely love it, so I am working on that. But if you can start your day reminding yourself of why the hell you want that so bad, then it's going to make the task that you need to do so much easier throughout the day, because you're going to have that why in your mind. So I have my why on my laptop on my Notion, but then I also have it on like a piece of paper that I read every single morning. Like every single morning I'm reminded of why I'm doing the work that I'm doing, and that gives me so much purpose. It gives me so much drive, it gives me so much ambition, it gives me so much motivation, and most of all, it gives me so much consistency. It helps me to be consistent and do the daily tasks. Make your situation right now not so comfortable. The reason why a lot of successful people are where they are is because they hated their situation. They hated where they were and they wanted to get out of it. I'm not telling you to hate your situation or put yourself in a dangerous, not pleasant situation, but how can you make yourself uncomfortable and start to understand that there's something more for you? Whether you have a really nice home and a stable job and stable income, relationships, friends, family, etc., but you want something more, you need to believe that there is something better for you, that there is something more for you, even if your situation isn't that bad right now. If you are not in a nice situation and you want to get out, and trust me, I know how that feels, then use that as your fuel for consistency. Use that to be like, I believe that I can get out of this situation, you can get out of this situation, so you are going to be consistent with those tasks in order to get you out of that situation that you're in right now. I've used this multiple times before in journal practices where I've been almost so annoyed with myself and so disappointed with myself that I'm in the situation that I'm currently in. So I will journal about it, and then I will let that fuel me to keep going and to keep being consistent. I don't know if it's the healthiest way to like be consistent with your goals. It really depends. I will use it carefully. So if your goal is to go to the gym to get fitter, then I don't want you to hate your body and talk negatively about your body just because it's going to get you to go to the gym. That's not what I mean, but it's like knowing that you could be in a much better place, in a much better situation, and letting that fuel you. Delayed gratification. I know I mentioned this at the start of the video as some of the things that the gurus say, but delayed gratification is just a way for you to get those things that you want to do into habits. Because say if you did want to record videos every single day, but you have a lot of resistance to it, you have a lot of fear around it, you're not really sure what you're talking about, blah blah blah, then try and build it into a habit you can do. So work on a video every single day, or send an email every single day until it becomes a habit, until you know what you're doing, until it feels natural to you. This is how you're going to be consistent. In the start, there's going to be so much resistance to it. It's going to be so tough to actually get going. But then once you've mastered it, the consistency just flows. You know what you're doing now and you're good and you're like, yes, I can keep going. Also, don't look for outside validation on this journey that you're on. This journey of self-improvement and self-development, don't look for external validation to say, well done, keep going. You need to get that from yourself, because the reality is you are not always going to have someone who's going to say, well done, keep going. You might not have that person who's telling you that at all. You might have a person who's telling you that every day. But you can't rely on that person to sustain you your entire journey. of life, of developing, of doing better. So make sure you're getting that validation from within, and this will also help you to be consistent. Commit to yourself. Make sure that you are a person who sticks to your promises. You tell yourself you're going to do something and then you actually do it. It's the key to building confidence, and it's the key to being consistent. And it's the key to actually getting to where you want to be, not letting yourself down, and becoming a person that people can trust. I think this is the key to a lot of things, obviously, just telling yourself that you're going to do it and actually do it. The worst pet peeve, like my worst pet peeve that I have, is someone who says they're going to do something and then they don't do it. There's so much misalignment in that. There's so much, like, they're so disconnected from the person that they are when they say, I am going to do that, and then they just don't. They just let themselves down completely. Obviously things come up and sometimes you have to say, I made a commitment but I can't do that because of this. That's fine, it happens. But seriously, if you are now telling a friend that you're going to be there and then you're not, you're going to be there at that time and then you're not, you're going to go to the gym this many times and then you don't, it's like, shh. Like, slow down, okay? Get back to what you actually can do. Get back to your baseline. Get back to your BAMs, your bare ass minimums. What are the bare ass minimums, and can you just do them? Can you just commit to yourself and do them and build up your confidence from there? I know that you want to do something with your life, but you're not necessarily sure what that is. Maybe you have multiple passions, but you're not sure how to string it together and put it together. But learning consistency is going to help you find out what you really want to do so much quicker, because you can try something for a month or 3 months consistently and then analyze how that made you feel and whether you want to continue. You can keep doing that with different things that you are passionate about, and then you will quickly go to realize what lit you up, what didn't light you up, what do you want to continue with, what don't you want to continue with. Because this is a problem that I see a lot of you face. It's like you have passions, you have dreams, you have goals, but you don't know which one to pursue. You're like, I love so many things, I don't know what to do. I want to start a business, I don't know what to do. Or I want to start a YouTube channel, but I care too much about what people think. If that sounds like you, then make sure you are subscribed, because my videos are going to help you. That brings me to the end of this crash course in consistency. I hope you loved it. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.